Hello students, we are studying centrifugation in paper 19B of semester 4th zoology of MDS University Ajmer. In the previous lecture we studied about the different types of centrifuges that are used for different purposes, in which we studied about the small bench centrifuge, the large refrigerated centrifuge, the high speed refrigerated centrifuge and ultra centrifuge. I am Dr. Bharti Prakash, Associate Professor, SPC Government College, Ajmer, and today we are going to study about the preparative ultracentrifugation, and in particular we will study about the differential centrifugation. Dear students, if you remember the previous lecture in which we studied about the ultracentrifugation, we studied that ultracentrifugation is subdivided into two categories: the preparative ultracentrifugation and the analytical ultracentrifugation. The preparative ultracentrifugation is further subdivided into differential centrifugation and density gradient centrifugation, which again is depends upon the rate zonal separation and the isopycnic separation. Today we will study about the differential centrifugation. If you remember, in the preparative ultracentrifugation, we studied that these centrifuges, the rotors can spin to a maximum speed of 80,000 rpm, and they can produce a centrifugal field of up to 6 lakh gravity. They are equipped with a refrigeration unit, and the temperature in them can be monitored by the infrared sensors. An speed control system is present in them, and the rotor imbalance is electronically monitored, and it is enclosed in a heavy armor plating. So in the preparative ultracentrifugation, it is divided into two categories: the differential centrifugation and the density gradient centrifugation. We will study today about the differential centrifugation. In differential centrifugation, the material containing different fractions is divided centrifugally into a number of fractions by increasing the applied centrifugal field. So, in the differential centrifugation, the separation is primarily based on the size and density of the particles. During the differential centrifugation of cell homogenate, the larger particles sediment faster as compared to the smaller ones, and this provides the basis for obtaining the crude organellar fractions commonly used in simple pelleting and obtaining the partially pure separation of subcellular organelles and macromolecules. The differential centrifugation is used for the study of subcellular organelle, the tissues or cells, and during this centrifugation, the larger particles, as we saw earlier, sediment faster than the smaller ones, and a series of progressive higher G-force generate partially purified organelles. Here in this picture, we can see the differential sedimentation of a particulate suspension in a centrifugal field. This is the centrifugal field, and this is the time of centrifugation. We can see in the tube A, all the particles in the homogenate are homogeneously distributed throughout the centrifuge tube. In B and C, we can see that the sedimentation of particles during centrifugation is dependent upon their size, their shape and their density. And finally, in the tube E, we can see that the large size particles sediment at the bottom. On top of them are the medium size particles, then the small size particles, and then this is the solvent. In the separation achieved by differential centrifugation, it can be improved by the repeated resuspension of the pellet in homogenization medium, and the recentrifugation under the same condition as in the original pelleting. Further centrifugations of the supernatant is gradually increased in the centrifugal fields, and this results in the sedimentation of the intermediate and finally the smallest and the least dense particles. Now this is the gradient, these are the gradient materials that are used during the differential centrifugation. The gradient material can be sucrose, silica soles, the glycerol, cesium chloride, cesium acetate, ficol, sorbitol, or the polyvinyl pyrrolidone. These are the gradient materials which can be used. Now, in spite of its reduced yield, the differential centrifugation remains till date probably the most commonly used method for isolation of intracellular organelles from the tissue homogenates. Why? Because of its relative ease, because it is very convenient, and because it saves time. It is time economy, and but there are a few drawbacks also with this, because it has a poor yield and the preparation obtained by them is never pure. The second is the density gradient centrifugation. The second type of preparative ultracentrifugation is the density gradient centrifugation, when the quantitative separation of all the components that are present in a mixture of particles is required. The technique of density gradient centrifugation is applied. It is a preferred method to purify the subcellular organelles and the macromolecules. The density gradient can be generated by placing the layer after layer of gradient media such as sucrose in a tube, with the heaviest layer which is placed at the bottom and the lightest layer which is placed at the top. The separation here is dependent on the size as well as the density of the proteins. Density gradient centrifugation is categorized into two: the rate zonal, which is the size separation, and the isopycnic separation, which is the density dependent separation. We will study about these two categories, that is the rate zonal separation and the isopycnic separation, in the next lecture. Thank you.